Welcome back, class. This afternoon we'll be doing a bucket filler's think, pair, share in order to help us come up with some classroom rules. We're going to start by reading Have You Filled a Bucket Today by Carol McLeod. And remember, today we're working on our all set, you bet attention grabber. So here we go. All day long, everyone in the whole wide world walks around carrying an invisible bucket. You can't see it, but it's there. You have a bucket. Every member of your family has a bucket. Your grandparents, friends, and neighbors all have buckets. Everyone carries an invisible bucket. Your bucket has one purpose only. Its purpose is to hold your good thoughts and good feelings about yourself. You feel happy and good when your bucket is full, and you feel sad and lonely when your bucket is empty. Other people feel the same way too. When they're happy, their buckets are full, and they're sad when their buckets are empty. It's great to have a full bucket, and this is how it works. Other people can fill your bucket, and you can fill theirs. You can fill your own bucket too. So how do you fill a bucket? You fill a bucket when you show love to someone, when you say or do something kind, or even when you give someone a smile. That's being a bucket filler. A bucket filler is a loving, caring person who says and does nice things to make others feel special. When you treat others with kindness and respect, you fill their bucket. But you can also dip into a bucket and take out some good feelings. You dip into a bucket when you make fun of someone, when you say or do mean things, or even when you ignore someone. That's bucket dipping. Bullying is bucket dipping. When you hurt others, you dip into their buckets. You will dip into your bucket too. Many people who dip have an empty bucket. They may think they can fill their own bucket by dipping into someone else's, but that will never work. You can never fill your own bucket by dipping into someone else's. But guess what? When you fill someone's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. You feel good when you help others feel good. All day long, we are either filling up or dipping into each other's buckets by what we say and what we do. Try to fill a bucket and see what happens. You love your mom and dad, why not tell them you love them? You can even tell them why. Your caring words will fill their buckets with joy. Watch for smiles to light up their faces. You will feel like smiling too. A smile is a good clue that you've filled a bucket. If you practice, you'll become a great bucket filler. Just remember that everyone carries an invisible bucket, and think of what you can say to fill it. Here are some ideas for you. You could smile and say hi to the bus driver. He has a bucket too. You can invite the new kid at school to play with you. You could write a thank you note to your teacher. You could tell your grandpa that you like spending time with him. There are many ways to fill a bucket. Bucket filling is fun and easy to do. It doesn't matter how young or old you are. It doesn't cost money, and it doesn't take much time. And remember, when you fill someone else's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. When you're a bucket filler, you make your home, your school, and your neighborhood better places for all. Bucket filling makes everybody feel good. So why not decide to be a bucket filler today and every day? Just start each day by saying to yourself, I'm going to do something to fill someone's bucket today. And at the end of each day, ask yourself, did I fill a bucket today? Yes, I did. And that's the life of a bucket filler. And that's you. The end. Alrighty, so I'm going to draw a name and we're going to have somebody hand out these sheets here. And they're going to help you organize your ideas on how we can be better bucket fillers and how to avoid bucket dipping in our classroom. So I'm going to draw a name and we're going to have somebody come and help us hand these out. So we're going to work together in our desk groups today. And once you get your paper from Sarah, you can get started. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes and I'll give you a 1-minute warning starting now. During this 10 minutes, I would be ensuring that every group got a piece of paper, has pens and utensils and everything else that they could need in order to be able to complete the task. I would also check for understanding, help where needed when students raise their hands, keep students who are off task on task. I would also join in and prompt conversation, help students articulate their ideas, and guide them to just everyday bucket filling behaviors that they're doing already. And also just like remind them what is something that others could do that would fill their bucket, that they would enjoy, would make them happy, that could be added to the list to make others happy. I feel like this is a way of formally assessing the students' understanding of the topic. Students should be demonstrating and communicating connections to the bucket filling and dipping mindset, like what ways have people dipped into theirs, how can we avoid doing that in their classroom, what kind of classroom environment would really make their buckets full, in a sense. This would be reflected in their collaborative list of rules, as well as in the exit ticket that I plan to use at the end of the lesson. As I circulate the room, I guess I would be keeping an eye on the timer so that I can be ready to give a 1-minute warning to students so that they can wrap up their final thoughts. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on in the background of the 10 minutes. Alright class, we have our 1-minute warning coming up shortly, so we're going to want to finish off our sentences, wrap up our last thoughts. 1 minute left to go. Okay class, our 10 minutes is up. Are we all set? You bet. Perfect. So now that we're all finished filling out our charts, I'm going to ask each group to find another group in the class who has a similar idea to one on their list and share why they feel it's important. Can I have somebody repeat that back to me? Daniel. Awesome, seems like we're good to go. So I'm going to start the timer. Each group has 2.5 minutes to share why they feel it's important before the other group shares. And we're going to do that starting now. Okay class, 2.5 minutes is up. It's time to switch groups. The other group should start sharing why they feel that their rule is important now. Okay, 2.5 minutes is up. Our second group should be just finished sharing. I'm going to get you guys all to come back to your desks and start tidying up. Once I see that you are all set, I'm going to come around and hand out an exit ticket. Today's exit ticket is, what is one way that you will fill someone's bucket today? Don't forget that you can fill your own bucket as well. I'll be at my desk whenever you're ready to come hand it in and hit the road for the day.